Welcome to episode 2 of Breakdown of Frame by Frame Animation. And on this video, I will show you the continuation of the hammer swing animation process we did on episode 1. If you haven't already watched that video, make sure you pause this video first and check that one out somewhere in the description below so you can follow along when you watch this video. This video will be showing you the evolution of the character animation of Lee from the tie down process, the cleanup, and then after on, the coloring. If you are very new to animation, you will surely get a lot of value from this video together with the first episode because it tackles most of the animation principles together with the character animation we are doing. And if you're already an experienced animator, this is still a good practice because you can definitely put this on your animation reel to attract more clients. So, let's get started. Now, we are picking up where we left off, which is the continuation of the tie-down process. Again, the first video is showing you the whole rough pass animation and my thought process on creating the key drawings and breakdown drawings. In this part of the animation process, detailing our character is the main focus of the work. This is a very simple character to draw and animate, that's why I chose him for this particular exercise. However, if you have a more detailed character or you are drawing an anime style for this animation exercise, this process for you might take longer. In real time, it took me about 40 minutes to draw this character 9 times, following the rough pass animation as my guide. The real time consuming part of this process is figuring out how the bubble hair and the clothes will act as the character moves forward in time. I am animating these parts of the character using the method called straight ahead animation, which is the opposite of the pose-to-pose animation we did for the body of this character. Straight ahead animation is animating frame by frame from drawing one to the end of the sequence. We are using this particular technique for the bubble hair and the clothes because of its flowing movement. It's really hard to create a key pose of the hair and determine what happens in between if we are to use the pose-to-pose technique. Oftentimes, this straight-ahead animation is best used for animating free-flowing movements such as the hair, fluid, fire, or smoke to name a few. If you want me to dive in deeper on more examples on how to use this technique for animating these things, let me know in the comments below. Now, as you can see on this video, I am simply playing around with what I could do with the animation for this part. I am also adjusting a bit on some parts of the main body as I go along to really see how my character is being animated. While the rough pass is a way to nail down the main action, the tie down is putting that main action in combination with your character's design. Preview the movement of your character so you can see it all come together at the end. And if you need to adjust a few things, you can always do so during this tie-down process. Some animators prefer to do another tie-down process with the in-betweens before the cleanup. This is surely helpful, especially if you are working on a scene that requires much more detail. Also, if you are working in the industry with a team, most of the time your main responsibility is to animate a particular scene, which consists of the rough pass animation and the tie-down process only. Somebody else is working on another scene while another animator will be doing the cleanup and coloring for the scene. Now, I don't have a team yet, and I do everything on my own for now, so I won't be doing another tie-down process to save time. So, the next step is the cleanup. In this part of the animation process, you are simply tracing tie-down drawings with much more cleaner lines. The way I do this part of the animation process is to work on one part of the character at a time. As you can see, I drew the head first from start to finish before moving on to the next part, which is the hair. I am also doing the 5 in-between drawings that we determined from the first video. Now I space these in-between drawings closer to the 11th drawing, which you can see in my spacing chart. This is another principle of animation where we ease in towards the action, which is the anticipation. Having drawings closer to each other will make the movement of that action slower. So, as the character ducks down in anticipation, he is slowing in and slowing out of the movement. This for me takes quite a bit of time because I am still getting used to drawing long fluid lines without jittering. During this process, you might want to have your other hand ready to press that undo button, which in most software is Ctrl Z. Unless of course you have your own shortcut. But yeah, this is quite a tedious process, and that's why to save time, most studios have another person working on this part of the animation. For myself, I just combine the in-between drawings with this part of the animation so I can save time. This is a very common practice for independent animators like me. I decided to add another drawing in the end just to have an additional animation for the bubble hair as it settles. A simple copy-paste of the previous drawing and adjusting the hair will do the trick. Moving on with the coloring, the first step I did was to blot down the shadows. Again, I am working on one part at a time for each frame so I don't have to juggle along the whole canvas as I draw. I think I learned this trick from Jazza in one of his videos, which is definitely a game changer in animating faster. After blocking the shadows off, we can just simply fill in the color of the character, one color and one part at a time. I added a few highlights here and there so the character can have a bit more depth too. I hope you learned a thing or two from these 2 episodes of the hammer swing animation tutorial that I did. Comment down below if you would like to see more of these animation tutorials and what you would like to see in the future of this series. I have a lot of animation tutorial in mind, like how to animate a fire, a smoke, maybe a fluid, a hair, and to push our limits, maybe I can even show you how to animate a fight scene or a dance animation. So if you would like to see all of that, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell button so you can get notified when I post those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and keep creating so you can make this world a better place with your imagination.